Hey everybody, it's Keith McGinnis with KCDC Designs. Yes, 10 minutes, but keep watching because there's more to the story.
I literally created this in 10 minutes. And this is using the clear marble technique using alcohol dyes, not alcohol inks. I had a guest come over to the studio from Arkansas, and he had a customer that was wanting a particular colors and design, and that's the little swatch that he brought along. So we considered, well, let's try the clear marble technique because it kind of had a watercolor type look to it. And just trying to come up with some colors that we're going to tie in with that and tie in with the tile that you see there on the table. Trying to get things to match. This is going to be a pretty good sized countertop set, so I wanted to make sure this was something that could be recreated. But the alcohol dyes, you first start with your countertop, and with this technique, now there, I didn't like it, and that's one of the advantages of this technique is you can wipe it off and start over again. But you want to start with, I started with a white base with 3 ounces per square foot of stone coat epoxy on it and let that cure at least 48 hours because you have to have a good smooth surface to be able to use the alcohol dyes and to be able to wipe it off and start over if you want to.
So to back up just a little bit, these are not alcohol inks. Alcohol inks, the colors can fade very, very quickly. So what I'm using here is Alumilite dye, and these are dyes that are designed to be used with epoxy resin, and I'm mixing that with 91% isopropyl alcohol in the applicator bottles that you see there, and then using, there are some mica powders that you can also use to create your colors. So with the Alumilite dyes, to create the colors, might just be adding 1, 2, 3 drops of 1 or 2 different colors, and here I'm mixing one of the colors. Let's try 1 drop of black. And apparently if you sing to it, it will come out of the bottle quicker, I guess. I don't know. Anticipation is making me wait. Here it comes. All right, so let's get back to the project. I didn't like it, so we're going to wipe it off and start over. And really, that's one of the greatest things about this clear marble technique is if you don't like it, you're going to wipe it off and start over. Now, what I'm starting with is, that's 3/4 MDF, and I have a white base, and I did pour clear epoxy over that base. It can be clear, it can be white, whichever. But then you need to let that set for a minimum of 24 hours because you need to have a smooth surface to be able to use this technique. And that's what also gives you the opportunity, if you don't like it, to be able to wipe it off and start over like I'm doing again here. There are times where because of maybe some of the colorants or dyes that you're using that it might stain the surface where you can't completely get it wiped off, but that's not a problem because you're going to be pouring colors over the top of it anyway. Actually, you can see a little bit of the staining done to the left on that picture. So here we're trying it again, and we're talking back and forth with the customer as we create some different designs. Once again, she didn't like it. So, back to the drawing board, and we try it again. So we're just trying a lot of different combinations to try to find out what the customer likes. But we also have to make sure, since this is a large countertop set, that we're going to be able to recreate it, or that Mike's going to be able to recreate it because this is for his customer. So here's kind of how that went down. All right, so we just talked to the customer, and the customer did a 180, which we're really, really happy about. But since we already started with this, we're going to see how fast we can whip out a clear marble and make it look halfway decent. I like the colors we got on there already. So you can kind of tell how we put a lot of thought into what we started with. Well, no more thoughts going into it right now. We're just going to be putting it down. That's what we're going to end up with. That whole project, what we did there, took a matter of 10 minutes. So I sped this up to kind of save us all time so I wouldn't bore the heck out of you here. But here you can see I'm just putting on, using all of the same colors, blending everything in together and kind of do it in 4 different sections. And I didn't mention this before, but you'll notice that I put clear alcohol down onto the surface first, and that's what allows those alcohol dyes to move around. And that's all I'm doing here is just kind of layering colors, adding some more on. Literally took 10 minutes and really, really liked the way it turned out One of the colors that is really fun to use, it's called 007, and it's a mica powder. It's gold, and it floats. It remains on top of the surface. And as we do a flyover here in a little bit, you'll see how that gold really, really jumps out. I know I'm moving quickly, but it really didn't take long to create this. And you can really create some really nice looking, especially bathroom vanities, using a wide array of different colors. And so here's a flyover. And again, put this together very, very quickly. Just using a hairdryer, the alcohol dyes, and mixing up colors that that you like. And but it really turned out nice. See that gold? There's going to be some areas here where I'll try to get the glare in there, where you can see how that right there, where that gold really, really jumps and really pops out. But the reason we call this the Clara Marble technique is because Clara Lawrence, there's that gold again. Clara Lawrence really perfected this art of using the alcohol dyes, and she is an incredible artist. And has really created some amazing, amazing pieces. So she's taught this to us, and then you kind of take the bull by your horns and do your own thing. So I'm also going to show you here another bathroom vanity that I did that really turned out nice. Customers were just over the top thrilled with it, and it really turned out nice. And I used the colors to match the wall, to match the back wall, and a little bit of brown in the cabinetry below. And this is how I created this one. And it's going to be a little bit different in the opacity of the colors. And notice that area right there, there was something about it I didn't like. So I was able to wipe it down, wipe it off, and kind of start back over. And what I did with this one is I didn't want 100% coverage across the whole surface. I wanted some of that white to show through. And what you can't see in the pictures is in that white, there's actually some white metallic and I think white metallic and pearl. So the white that you see actually has some really cool visual interest in it. And oh boy, I better slow that down. There we go. Okay. So on this one, I applied the Ultimate Top Coat Gloss, but see that gold that I was talking about, how it floats and remains on the surface? It's really, really pretty. And now you can see some of the undertones in that white area that doesn't have the alcohol dyes in there. And again, I didn't want 100% coverage. I knew where the sink was going to be, and I actually got a hold of the customer's sink prior to creating this. And that's what gave me the idea for the gold, of course, but then also the color for the walls, and then adding some brown and to tie everything in together. And in those areas, you really can see how that gold really pops. I mean, that's a bathroom vanity you're just not going to find anywhere else. And again, this is not a difficult technique. It's just coming up with the colors that you really like. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and we will see you on the next video.